So now let's roll the ball now and get into EPBCS. So what is EPBCS? So Enterprise Planning and Budgeting Cloud Service. This is a part of EPM Cloud, which comes with standard out-of-the-box modules with delivered planning modules that align with planning best practices. So in short, EPBCS is nothing but PBCS plus out-of-the-box modules. We know now what PBCS is. We have discussed in yesterday's class, and today also we had a brief overview of it. So we know what PBCS is and what it is capable of. Then what are these out-of-the-box modules? So out-of-the-box modules are nothing but these are the few pre-built models with inbuilt artifacts like web forms, dashboards, business rules, that is inbuilt logics. In fact, inbuilt dimensions and members are also present in it. So we have like all predefined. Web forms are also designed, dashboards are designed, rules are designed, everything is designed. So in these modules, we just need to enter the required amount of data, and the calculated data is obtained by performing and running few rules, and we get the result without writing any logics or coding. So there is no much effort from the admin end, so they need not write any rules, they need not write any logics or coding, so everything is inbuilt. So that term we called it as out of the box. EPBCS comes up with 5 out of the box inbuilt modules, that is financials, workforce, capital, projects, and strategic modeling. These business processes include built-in predefined artifacts, and as mentioned, a process flow is defined for each of the modules, which is close to and can be effectively applied to day-to-day business process of an organization. So to have a brief on all these 5, financials are nothing but, as we already know what is financial, so products or whatever sales we do, the sales, revenue, so all the financials, the balance sheet statements, the cash flow statements, the profit and loss, so everything is designed here. So we have trend-based calculations also, direct input calculations also in financials. So in depth we'll be covering all of these 5 modules in our future sessions, but now I'll just give a brief of what exactly each of one is. So next comes workforce. So the name itself indicates workforce is nothing but human capital, the employees in the application, their jobs, their compensation elements, their headcount, their demographics, and all the details about the employees in an organization. So that covers the workforce. Next is capital. So capital is nothing but asset management. So what all assets a company has, what are assets it's owning, are they tangible assets, are they leased, are they owned by the company, and what are all expenses are involved in it, the depreciation expenses, the repairs, the cash flow of it. So all the things, all the expenses and all the statements related to the capital assets is done in capital module. Next is projects. So every organization takes up some projects, like they can be a contract projects for another organization, or inbuilt internal projects, or capital projects to build a building or something like that. So there are various types of projects each organization is handling. So in each project, what is the expense, what is the revenue gained from each project, what is the expense spent on it, how much workforce expense there is there, how much capital expense is there. So all the details related to projects is covered in this projects module. These 4 modules basically are used for operational planning, so that is within 1 year time frame. And coming to strategic modeling, this is nothing but in this we do long-term planning, long-range planning. So it will be usually more than 1 year, so up to 3 to 5 years, or up to 10 years also we can do. So strategic modeling is nothing but that is above all of these 4. So operational planning sums up to strategic planning always. So a long-range planning will be conducted in strategic modeling. So all everything out of box is built for these 5 modules. And if there is any slight deviation in your business process compared to that present in EPBCS, then there is a flexibility to do customizations also, like building our own artifacts and logics. We do have that feature as well, and that is totally allowed. And along with these features given by out-of-box modules, we can build our own custom logics to fit to our business needs.
So what exactly is the approval process? So we usually having, if you are doing a bottom-up planning, we will be having some data which is submitted by a plan at the bottom level that will be rolled up to the next level. So he will, whatever he is submitting here, that should be gone to the next level manager. He will be reviewing the data and he will be submitting it, and he will send it to the top level manager, and again he will be reviewing the data and finally approve the data. So this is the approval process we generally have in any business. So from down it will be like the approval thing will be going. So this same process can be set up in our PBCS or EPBCS as well. So approvals basically allow a planner to manage workflow and run through an approval process that was set up by the administrator. So users can check the status by sorting the approval status, current owner or corresponding planning unit name. So here if you see, this is the home page. We have an approvals page here, approvals card here. So once we go to this approval, so we can see like what are the different entities and where exactly the approval is. So this particular marketing US is is under review with William Radcliffe. Again, this is with Carol Judd. So this way the approvals are pending this way. So we can see where exactly the approvals are getting reviewed and where exactly the status of it, we can see it here. Now, looking at the types of approvals we have in our PBCS or EPBCS or any on-premise planning as well, we have three types of approval processes: bottom-up, distribute, and free-form. So bottom-up is nothing but data will be basically input at the bottommost leaf level, and it will be consolidated by rolling up to the organization hierarchy. So for example, you have sales US member. So we have a hierarchy called total entity US and then sales US. That is the hierarchy we have in the entity. So it will be like I will be submitting some data at sales US. So that will be rolled up and it will be gone to the next level, that is US, and that will be rolled up and gone to the next level, that is total entity. So from bottom level it is going to the top level. So from this is the bottom up type of approval process. And you can assign the owners at each level. So for sales US, some Mr. ABC should be the owner, and at the US level, some XYZ should be the owner. So we can even give the owners also, assign the owners also. And the next type we have the distribute. So in distribute what we have is, it will be like top-down kind of thing. So basically our ownership is distributed down the organization hierarchy. So first of all, the allocation will be done from top to bottom, and then from lower levels the budgets will be submitted back again to get it reviewed at the top. So basically the initial budget will be given, and based on that budget we will be submitting some data. So it will be distributed from the top, and again bottom-up planning happens. So this is with the distribute. And next comes freeform. So freeform, as the name itself indicates, users can submit at the leaf level, and planners, there is an option for the planners to select the next owner. So for the other two, the bottom up and distribute, what happens is we will give a specific owner for each level. But in freeform, I will be able to submit the data at one of the members, and I can select to whom the review should go, the next level review. So I will be having that option to select the next owner. So these are the three kinds of approval processes, and the basic steps which needs to be followed in setting up the approval process: create an approval unit, then assignment of approval unit, and start the approval unit. So let me just show that in the application so that you'll get a clear idea. So I'll go to this navigator, and here I have workflow section here. So first I'll go to approval unit. So basically here we have to define approval unit. So here I can create a new approval unit, or let me right now, for our convenience, let me go to a already created approval unit. I'll edit this. So if I edit this, I will see what is the name of it and what kind of approval it is, whether it's a bottom-up, distribute or free-form. So this is selected as bottom-up. And here in the next tab, if I see, I can go and select the primary and sub-hierarchy selection. So basically what all entities are involved in this approval process, we will be selecting them here. So in the entity, so you can select like what all dimensions I need here. If you see, this is checked here, this is enabled. So only North America is enabled. So under North America, I have again members here, US. Again under US, I'll be having multiple members under this. So only manufacturing US is selected, which is rolling up to North America. So this is the approval unit I have created. So only for combination, the approval unit is created. And if I go to the third tab, which is assign owners, so I can see what all I have exactly selected in the preview. So I can clearly see what the total workflow process we are using here. Okay, so if I am having the owners also assigned. So under manufacturing US also I have multiple here. So here if I see these, Carol Judd is the owner for all these lower level manufacturing US entities. And once the owner submits it, it will go to the next level US, that is he is the owner here. We can have reviewer also if needed, but even if you don't have it, is fine. And that will again, once he approves it, it will go to the next level approval, query lane. So this way we can set up the owners and we can have this approval unit set up. So here we have set up exactly what the owner, what are the entities we are using. So this is approval unit setup we are doing. Now if I go to the next step, that is approval unit assignment. Okay, I'll again go to the navigator workflow and go with approval unit. So here in this approval unit assignment, one concept is called planning unit. So there should be a unique planning where you can define the workflow. So planning unit is nothing but a combination of scenario, version and entity. So if I go to the same here and I edit this, if I go to actions and if I go to actions, it will ask like scenario in which version this particular approval unit should be present. So here I have selected plan and project approval is the version. This is selected for this. So this plan, project approval and the entities under it. So that constitute one planning unit. So against plan and another maybe working version, you can create another planning unit. But here you are assigning. So here I can select one more unique combination like plan and working or forecast and working or forecast and project approval. So you can give like these are the other scenarios which are present. You can't select plan again. So this way you can give different assignments. So this consists of a planning unit. So only in this planning unit, so only in this particular combination, the data will be gone for that workflow process. So you need to give it approval unit assignment. And once this assignment is done, so everything will be done by the admins. And once the assignment is done, before the user starting the data, we need to start the approval unit. So for that, manage approvals. So initially everything will be grayed out. So once you start the approval unit, what happens is for the lower level members, like if you are planning, only for the first level members, everything will be visible in white, particular web forms or anything. They can submit and they can move it to the next level. Then that next level people can view the data in white and they can do any changes if needed. And the first owner, everything will be graded for that first owner. So that's how the data editing also will be restricted. So if I go to manage approvals here, I select the scenario and I select the project approval. And if I click on go, this is under review. So I can see here, I can see in the tree view here, so I can see how exactly the approval unit is set up. So if you see, everything started, that means it is started and we are good to go with the approvals. So the low level, whoever is there, Carol Judd, he can go and submit the data. Go and start the approval process and proceed it to the next level. So that way we have to start it. Initially it will be set to exclude. Then we have to, immediately after creating the approval unit, it will be set to exclude. So to start the approval process, we have to go and start it. So everything is started here. Now they can go ahead and start the approval process. So this is how a typical approval process works in the PBCS application.